YouTube, what is going on? Sneaky Mouse here, and I just want to say before we get started into the video, thank you for 125 subscribers. I never would have thought I could make it to this part, so let's get going. So first you're going to walk through the front door and hop up the ladder hatch. Once you're up the ladder hatch, you're going to go through the left door towards the loot room, and then in the loot room you'll be able to see that there's double walled and it's nice and clean. So your bottom loot's going to be on the bottom level and your upper loot is going to be up top, because that is the section that will be double walled, so it'll be harder for rockets to get to. So now I'm going to show you the upstairs portion, or sorry, a hidden loot room in the base. You'll be able to have 3 of these, so you just be able to hop up on furnace and into this room. It's not necessarily hidden, but it's a good way to spread out some of your loot. Maybe some ores that need to be smelted, as you'll have a furnace below, and whatever else you need. So now we're just going to go across and show you some of that other loot we got. Look at those fancy Louis Vuitton chests. Some Pookie Bears right there. Lots of sleeping bags. There even are a few areas to place beds if you wish. So next you're just going to hop up top. Right now we're in the portion where it's like a fireman chute down below, so you can get out easily. And so this up top, there's battle stations. I like to place planters, and there's usually doors there. And so you can shoot those naked sleeping on those high walls. So just gonna run around for a little bit and show you what else we got. We got a little panic cage, so worst comes to worst, online raid, have nowhere else to go, you can just do your final stand in there. I'm gonna try hopping up here, not gonna work. So now I guess I'll get into showing you some of the foundations. So first you're going to place a triangle foundation as low as possible. You're then going to want to place 3 staircases going off each side. You then simply place a triangle foundation and then delete the stairs. You're going to want to fill it around like so. There will be some clipping, but it should all work. And then I'm just going to fly up and give you a little perspective of what it looks like. So now you're going to remove the triangles off the ends. And then you're going to build seven foundations out. Just going to switch it up to stone so you're able to see what I'm doing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then a triangle foundation off the back. And you're going to go and delete everything that you have just done. So now you're going to run back and you're going to place some diamonds across. So you're simply just going to place them all the way back, following the same easy pattern. Simple to do, easy to follow. And you're going to get back. So once you're back, you're now going to delete everything behind it. Then you're going to go back to the foundation and place another 7 stone foundations outwards, or 7 square foundation outwards, and then you're going to delete them all once again. This will ensure it is a perfectly tight fit. The next step to do is simply follow the same triangle pattern again. Oops, going to delete that one. And you're just going to place it as you go. So now that we're here, we're going to delete everything behind it once again. So you just have that single triangle at the moment. Now that you're here, you're just going to simply place a circle using the triangle foundations around. Make sure it doesn't clip to the actual original wooden foundations that you have. And of course you'll be making this all in thatch. The stone and the wood is just to give you like a little base, so you can help differentiate what I'm building. So now I'm going to turn this all into twig, because the final step is the hardest part to do of this entire build pretty much. So what you're going to do is you're going to delete the one triangle that is facing inwards. As you see, you'll be able to go around, and it's kind of hard to place because it's going to want to try and clip forward. So I'm going to teach you a quick trick in a moment how to do that. I'm just going to quickly delete all these first. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Gotta make sure it's all thatch. So you're going to want to crawl underneath Then you're gonna see if it clips or not. That time it did not work, but most of the time it's pretty easy to tell. There we go, got it. So now you're gonna go sneak over to your next one, crawl underneath, and there we go, we got that one. And for the final one, there we go. Let me just crawl out from underneath and show you what it looks like now. So now you'll be able to see they're all intertwined, and now you'll want to delete the ones behind the little section you just intertwined. Just gonna want to delete those outside ones as they're no longer of use. Now I'm just going to fly up and give you a little perspective of what it looks like at the moment. So now it's all stone, so this is what it should look like once you upgraded it. The next step is to place the fireman chutes. And the main entrance. So this is what they are on the base, just so you have an understanding. So that was the fireman chute, and here is the main ladder hatch. So now essentially what you're going to do is quite simple. You place one foundation off, then you place a triangle foundation, remove the square foundation, and place the triangle foundations inwards, 3 of them. Quite simple, should look like that. It's extremely basic to do, and you've already pretty much done it in one of the steps before. Actually, the very initial step. Oops, didn't mean to delete that. So now we're just going to go finish up doing this one, and then we'll get on to some of the loot room designs. And of course the base that you saw is just a demo base. You can honestly design it however you'd like, to whatever fit you feel. So now I'm going to fly up and it should look like this. So the next phase is going to show you how to incorporate that ladder hatch. Let's turn that fly off. It's quite simple. What you're going to do is you're going to place on the back side here. Just going to rotate that so people can't pick in. You can place it too high. Quickly upgrade that to stone. So now you're too high, and then you place a frame up top. Then you simply box yourself in. Make sure they're the correct way, otherwise people can pick into the base. Now it's like that, you can simply place your door and build your way up. Quite simple. You're going to want to fill in the honeycomb on the inside, and then you delete the bottom one and place a chest so you'll be able to jump up. Make sure the chest is in a good spot, otherwise it will be a pain in the ass to get in. So now it's like this, you can place the hatch. So let me just grab one of those real quick. Now we got the hatch, make sure it's rotated inwards. You can simply jump up, grab it, and climb up with ease. So that's essentially that. It's quite easy to do. You can do it all the way around. Now I'll show you a special tool cupboard stacking. It's not ordinary tool cupboard stacking, and this is the reason why the first foundation is so low. So let me just grab 2 tool cupboards. And completely ignore this build part that I'm doing right now. This is just so I'll be able to climb up to the top tool cupboard. So this you can honestly hide it anywhere in your base, but preferably keep it on the 3rd floor. But because this is in the basement, even if they were to blow straight in and get the tool cupboard, unless I'm just gonna deal quickly, unless they were on like very ground level, they'll only be able to place, like they won't even have building proof on ground level first of all, so they'd have to get main, and it still prevents all building block on a lower level, so that's why it's good. And even if they did get it, you can do this on most bases to be honest, and essentially they'll only be able to place a low wall, so it's pretty useless getting building priv on the bottom floor. So they'll force raiders to rock it up and waste tons of valuable C4. It's like 14 C4 if you go by the doors, and 10 C4 if you go by these sides, which is quite costly, and in the current rating meta, it's honestly ridiculous. So how you're going to essentially want to honeycomb the bottom is as follows. I'm not going to honeycomb the entirety of it, I'm just going to show you examples, so just keep watching. It's super straightforward and easy to do. So now it's time to learn about the loot room, or not learn about the loot room, but it's time to build the loot room. So essentially, it's pretty easy to do. You'll have the top loot, which is the main loot, and then your inner core will be some of your like secondary loot, maybe some drop chests, whatever. So first of all, we're just gonna clear everything off, get a clean slate, and we're gonna start by placing the doors down. So we got the doors in each side, and then we'll simply just put some regular walls around. Now it's time to get some of those door frames in. So you're going to put them on the outer edge, 2 on each side, because of course it's double walled, might as well have 2 doors. And it doesn't really matter where you place them, just as long as you place them. So next you're going to have your doors. The one facing the door should go outwards, and then one facing your loot room should go inwards. Outwards and inwards. Next you're going to want to place your walls. They're double walled, so you should be placing 2, and it'll look like it's clipping through the door, but that shouldn't affect any of your movement whatsoever. So now you're simply just going to place some walls on that inner triangle that you got going on there. Get rid of that extra wall, and then place a roof. Next you're going to want to place next you're going to want to place the wall frames. Generally I like them to be metal because it's easier to walk by, as they do have like a clipping box. So what you're going to do is just going to run around and spam them, get them in all over the place. Just make sure you have them everywhere because it's important for the stability. Even though the stability will be near perfect, or not near perfect, but as good as a normal base, it's still important to have them in. Plus also when it's done, it looks pretty badass. So next you're going to place these shelves. Go and make sure they fit in there. And it doesn't really matter what you have on the shelves. It's more or less that you should be able to walk by. So make sure you place them nice and far. Otherwise you could get stuck, and that's going to really harass you and make you waste those extra resources you don't need to waste. Just going to place those chests down. Place them nice and close to the wall. So when you're done, you should be able to run around perfectly, and you can place sleeping bags and whatever you need in the base. Also, instead of having shelves, you could also place furnaces, but it's up to your opinion. So now you're going to jump up, and then you're going to place the floors down, because this is going to be your main loot up here. So make sure they don't clip, and try and get them down like so. Generally like it to be metal so people can't pick upwards, although it doesn't really matter in this case, because once they're into your secondary loot, they're into your main loot, unless you put extra doors, which is very doable. You can put cell gates. So now I'm just going to go around and place some walls. We're only going to do one layer. We're not going to do that extra little outer layer, just for the sake of this video and time. Oops, gonna make sure we place the back one first so it's easy to double wall. Some of the clipping, it's always the last one that gets you. Now I'm just going to rotate these walls. And you're just going to finish doing the double walling. Doesn't really matter how you place them, because at this stage people generally won't pick it, and they can't actually see these, so it's just up to your preference on what you want. So after you've placed all those, or you're about to finish placing all of those, then you can get working on some of the loot placement. So essentially you're going to place a box there so it's easy to jump up. This is a one-time thing and you will have to break it. Then you're going to want to place the large chest on a slight angle, then high walls in between, or sorry, low walls in between. Then you're going to jump up and get that blue box. Right now I'm just trying to jump spam, but the easiest format is to just jump up. Just going to speed it up for you. So now once that's done, you can remove that chest, and then you place the wall frames. Metal, stone, doesn't matter, it's up to your preference on look. Now we're just going to fly up and then do the roof. So that's essentially the loot room. And so anyways guys, thank you for watching. This has been the Sneaky Mouse. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy these videos. Just want to say another huge thank you on the 125 subscribers in 1 month. That's ridiculous.